means Dham, Puri, right? So Puri is also called Purushottam Kshetra. So Purushottam Dham. So Purusha Uttamam. As Mother said, yes, he is the best among Purushas, but who is the actually there's only one Purusha, that is Krishna. And Purusha actually means enjoyer. So best among the enjoyer is Krishna. So Bhoktaram Tabasam Sarva Loka Maheshwara. That's actually a peace formula there to know that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. If we know that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, he is the supreme controller, and he's our only well-wishing friend. That is actually the peace formula, right? That is something called the peace formula. Okay, so we'll go to the yoga of the Supreme Person as Purushottam Yoga, 15th chapter. And 15th chapter, first 6 slokas is about becoming detached from the material world. So what is the best method to get detached from the material world? I'll take raised hands. Keshav Prabhu.
To be attached with the Supreme Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, to get attached to Krishna. And the 15th chapter compares this material world to what? It compares us to Sunita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji? Sorry, I couldn't hear you, Mataji.
No, the material world is compared to what in the 15th chapter?
Urdhva Moolam Adhusha.
Yeah.
It's a banyan tree, Mataji.
Yeah, banyan tree, inverted, right? Inverted banyan tree. So how do we cut this banyan tree? With the
Vairagya.
With the acts of detachment.
Acts of
The
detachment.
weapon of detachment.
Vairagya. And that is possible by Bhakti Yoga, right? So when you do Bhakti Yoga, there are 2 byproducts. Put in the chat, what are the 2 byproducts of Bhakti Yoga? Type in the chat. Two byproducts of Bhakti Yoga. Yes. Prema is the final goal, actually. It's not. Attachment to Krishna is already there, no? That's why we are doing Bhakti Yoga. Love and pure devotion is a part of Bhakti Yoga. Chanting and serving is the process. Purification is the process. Self-realization is the final goal. Yeah, only one person got it right. That is Sunita Mataji. Rest everybody. Yeah, even this is right. Veernath Prabhu. Sharmila Mataji, yes. Yes, Keshav Prabhu. So, Jnana and Vairagya, okay? That means you'll get transcendental knowledge and detachment. So, it is said, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojidaha Janadi Asuvairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahitukam. So, the 2 things, Vasudeve Bhagavati, if you do Bhakti Yoga to Bhakti Yoga Prayoji, if you do Bhakti Yoga to Vasudeva, then 2 things, Janadi Asuvairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahitukam. So, 2 things, Vairagyam and Jnanam. So, 2 things will come as a byproduct. Vairagya, that is detachment, and jnana, knowledge. So this material world is compared to an inverted banyan tree, roots upward, and the basis of the roots is, what are the basic basis on which the root is growing? Yes, Prabhu?
Material desires.
Desires, right? So because of desires, we have this material life, and it is like an inverted banyan tree. So why banyan tree? There are so many trees, mango tree, coconut tree, so many trees. Why banyan tree is specifically mentioned? Why is this material world compared to a banyan tree and not any other tree? Yeah, Sunita Mataji?
Because it is complicated, Mataji. We cannot find its root. It's complicated.
Yeah, you can't even say where the root began, where it's going to end, right? You see the banyan tree, you can't even trace out where the root actually began and where it's going to end. It's like so twisted and turned. Similarly, you really don't know when your material life actually started. Krishna knows. So from time immemorial, we don't know from where 84 lakh species we have gone through. We don't know from where we have started, where it's going to end. And it's so complicated and twisted. So the only way to get out of it is to, so many branches, no end to it, yes. Root is upside. Okay, so that means even in banyan tree, there's a lot of roots will be hanging. That means so many desires in material world. So becoming detached from the material world is by the cutting with acts of detachment. And that is possible by Bhakti Yoga. Okay. Okay, so chapter 13 to 18, we covered all these. And in this chapter, we're going to cover about the banyan tree and Purushottama Yoga. So Prabhupada says about the focus of learning. This process of extrication should be understood. In the previous chapters, it has been explained that there are many processes by which to get out of the material entanglement. And now, up to the 13th chapter, we have seen that devotional service is the best way. Now, the basic principle of devotional service is detachment from material activities and attachment to Krishna. The process of breaking attachment to the material world is discussed, okay, in the 15.1 purport. So the Prayojana. We can skip this. Okay, so first 6 slokas about detaching from the material world. 7 to 11 is our transmigration of the living entities. 12 to 15 is about appreciating Krishna's position as a maintainer. And 16 to 20 is a summary of the Vedanta Sutra. So it's a very short chapter. We'll see. We can finish this chapter in this week, in the sense Tuesday and Thursday. Okay. So what is the connection between chapter 14 and 15? Chapter 14 describes the modes of material nature, right? Those forces that restrict and control a soul. So one needs detachment from the material world to attain devotion to Krishna. The chapter 15 begins, right, explaining the need for detachment of the metaphor that compares the material world to banyan tree. Urdha Mula Mata Shaka, Ashwatha, Rahuravye. So Ashwatha, that's the banyan tree, and detachment to cut it with an axe, right, from the entanglement of this material world. Yes, Manasi, can you read?
Yes, Mataji. Urdhva Moolam. Just like if you have to keep yourself, the legs are up and the head down. Somebody keeps you like this. How long will you feel comfortable? If somebody takes your legs and catches you, your head down, then it is not very comfortable. So this whole material world is like that. Urdhva Moolam. The Moolam should have been down, but it is up. Therefore, it is uncomfortable. Another explanation is it is perverted reflection. We have got experience of the Urdhva Moolam. On the bank of a river or the bank of a pond, tree is standing. But the reflection we find that the same tree has become Urdhva Moolam Adhashakam. So, by this statement, Krishna says that this is not real. That reflection in the water of the tree is not real. Real tree is up. Similarly, real enjoyment, real varieties, everything is in the spiritual world. It is simply reflection. It is not fact. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So the real thing is in the spiritual world. So everything what we see in the material world is just a reflection from the spiritual world. Everything. So in the spiritual world there is love, material world is lust. So that's why, which is the highest rasa in spiritual world? Anybody can unmute.
Madhurya Rasa.
In Madhurya Rasa, which is highest?
Vipralambha.
Vipralamba. Okay, in separation. Can you go a little deeper? There is a Vipralamba bhav is there, but there's in Madhurya Rasa there are 2 types. That is following Rupa Goswami footsteps. No, 2 types of Madhurya Rasa. Madhurya can be between
Parakiya.
yes, Parakiya and
Swakiya.
Swakiya. Good. Parakiya and Swakiya. Okay. So, what do you mean by Parakiya and what do you mean by Swakiya? Who knows?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Swakiya means the love of a wife and Parakiya means the love of a paramour.
Yes. So that means Swakiya and Parakiya. Okay. This is Madhurya Ras. Madhurya means loving. In the sense, yes. So Madhurya Ras is the highest. Okay. When you say Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Valsalya, Madhurya. So Madhurya can be in 2 types. One is between husband and wife. One is between the lovers in a relationship. So the rasa, if anybody of you got married after love, in the sense it's a love marriage, you know how your relationship with your spouse was before marriage, when you're in the love, and then after marriage. No? So definitely you agree that it was much better before marriage. Definitely when 2 souls start living together. It says even if you put two brahmacharis in one room, in 1 hour there'll be problems. Like in the sense, if you put even renounced people, like even so there might be problems because both two are coming from different background, and when you start living together, all the negative things comes up, and so much adjustment and so many things happen. So it is said Swakiya and Parakiya. Parakiya is more sweeter than Swakiya. In the sense, a husband-wife relationship, yes, Swakiya, it's okay. But more than that is a paramar, the lover relationship. So that is highest in the spiritual world. So that becomes the lowest in material world, right? Somebody having an illicit relationship. If there is a husband and wife, and then a wife or a husband has a relationship outside marriage. So that is kind of the lowest. It's kind of breaking the regulative principles in the material world. But that's highest in spiritual world. You understood? So it's like inverting. Whatever is the topmost in spiritual world become the lowest in material world. So in the material world, what is highest? What do you see? Highest in the material world.
Becoming a boss.
The relationship
Yeah.
between husband and wife.
Sense enjoyment.
Sense enjoyment. So sense enjoyment becomes the lowest in spiritual world because there is no sense enjoyment there. Everybody is trying to serve Krishna. Forgetting about your senses, you're all going to serve the master of senses. There is no sense gratification in spiritual world. That's why there is no lust, karma in spiritual world, right? So here, that might be taken as the highest as sense gratification in the material world. The whole material world revolves around it. And so this is how you should see everything is like inverted here. So Prabhupada says there is no real tree here. The real tree is in the spiritual world. Real enjoyment, real varieties is in the spiritual world. This is just a reflection. Okay. So the material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world. That's what the first two slokas of 15th chapter states. Shri Bhagavad Vaja Urdamula Padashagam Ashwatham Prahuradeyam Chandam Sresya Barnari Yestam Veda Savedavit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree. It has its roots upward and branches down, and its leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is the knower of the Vedas. So here you can see, and the second sloka says, Adashodam Prashudastasya Shakha Guna Pravritta Vishaya Pravaya Adasya Mulani Anishantatani Karma Anubandini Manishya Loke. The branches of the tree extend downward and upward, nourished by the three modes of material nature. The twigs are the objects of the senses. This tree also has roots going down, and these abound to the fruitive actions of human society. So here you can see, this is the spiritual world and the inverted reflection that's coming. And the reflection is on the desires. The platform is on desire. And the roots are there. You can see the real root grows upward into Brahmaloka. Secondary roots grow downward. There is attachment, emotion, bound by fruitive activities. Then the leaves are the Vedic hymns. The twigs are sense objects. And tips of the branches are the senses. Then there are fruits, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, the fruits. Then the living entities. The nourishment is through the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. And the living entities, they try to hope to taste the fruits, right? So as Prabhupada says, if somebody holds you upside down, even in a mother's womb, we are like upside down. So if somebody holds you upside down for a long time, how difficult it is for you. No? So we are like that in this material world, upside down. So can't see how far the tree extends. That's why it's called as a banyan tree, because a banyan tree, you can't see where it starts, where it ends. You really don't understand. All the living entities are eternal part and parcel of Krishna. They are struggling with their senses. So the three modes and the three modes nourishes the tree. In the sense, we have desires because of passion, then there is ignorance, all this will nourish the tree. Okay, so this is why it's called an inverted banyan tree, the material world. So it has a long purport by Srila Prabhupada in the first purport, first sloka. You can try to read it. Na rupamasyeha tatopalipyate namto na chatirna cha sampravishta ashwatthamenam suviruda moolam asanga shastrena dhruvena chitva tata patam tat parimargitavyam yasmin gadana nivritanti bhuya tameva chadyam purusham prapatte yada pravritti prashuta purani. The real form of this tree cannot be perceived in this world. No one can understand where it ends, where it begins, or where its foundation is. So nobody can understand where we actually started our life. Like as today's Bhagavatam class, Ramanishra Prabhu was saying, we were envious of Krishna. That's why we are in this material world, right? So when that envy develop, or we really don't know. When did that happen? When did we fall down? Right? So where it's going to begin and where it's going to end, Krishna knows, but we don't know. But with determination, one must cut down the strongly rooted tree with the weapon of detachment. Like when you start Krishna consciousness initially, you just like the moment, but you're not into it. But as you progress in life, you feel like taking shelter, you can take an initiation. That means what? You're becoming serious. You're really becoming serious. And you get detached from material things, right? Asat Sangatyage Vaishnavachar. You start detaching from material life and come more close to spiritual life. So that means you are actually trying to cut the material tree of attachment to the material world. So it happens together. Attachment to, how does it happen? Like, is it attachment to Krishna first or detachment from material world first? What happens first, Kanjan Mataji?
Attachment to Krishna.
Mataji, attachment to Krishna.
But attachment, can it happen just like that? What are the two steps before Shraddha? Does anyone know? There are 9 stages of devotional service, right?
First is Anartha Nivritti, then is Ruchi.
No. Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, right? Before Shraddha, what are the 2 stages? Not Shravanam and Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam is the 9 types of devotional service. How do you develop Shraddha? Shraddha is faith.
Association with
Sadhu
Sangha.
Sangha.
Serving a
Advaita
Vaishnava,
Sukriti.
Mataji? Serving a
Yes, so-
Vaishnava?
Yes, right. Serving Vaishnava, and before that,
Agnata Sukriti.
okay.
Mataji, hearing and sadhu sangha.
No, that's all coming later.
Hearing Mataji, hearing about
Hearing
Krishna.
comes as Sudha Mataji, you were saying something.
I was saying Mataji serving a Vaishnava and this thing.
Yeah, serving Vaishnava, and when you serve a Vaishnava, what do you get?
Association, Mataji.
Yeah,
Association.
Sharmila Mataji got it right. Mercy of a devotee. Good. So there are 2 steps before Shraddha. That is Satam Kripa and Mahat Seva. Mahat Seva. First, you need to serve a Vaishnava. Mahat Seva Dwara. Mahat Seva means serve a Vaishnava. Now, when you serve a Vaishnava, Mahat Seva, when you do, there is Satam Kripa. There is mercy coming from a Vaishnava. Then you develop faith. Like initially, you have faith in Krishna, but it's shakeable. If somebody says something wrong, okay, you're gone. But as you start serving Srila Prabhupada through Shastras, start preaching some kind of devotional activities, or you're doing some service to some Vaishnavas, you start getting their mercy. This is a mercy movement. And once you start getting the mercy of Guru Maharaj and your Shiksha Gurus and all, then what happens? You develop Shraddha, more Shraddha. Then Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, all the can start. So Rupa Goswami explains, before Shraddha, the 2 stages is Mahat Seva and Satam Kripa. Then it's easy to get out of this material entanglement. So we need to cut the strong rooted tree of material entanglement with the acts of detachment. Asanga Shastrena, sharpened by determination. So which story comes here? Does anyone remember that story of determination?
Sparrow, Mataji?
Yeah, the sparrow, right? So the sparrow, as you all know, that the ocean have taken the eggs and then try to have determination to empty the ocean, and finally Garuda helps. So that's the determination of a sparrow. So word asanga is very important in this collection because attachment is a sense enjoyment and loading it over material nature is very slow. What do you mean by loading it over material nature? You can see this term so many times used by Prabhupada, especially in Bhagavatam and all. What do you mean by loading it over material nature?
Become the master of this material
Yes.
nature.
Yeah, to become a master of this material nature, in the sense to enjoy this material nature, to think that we are the controller, we are the enjoyer, right? So that's what it means by loading it over material nature, which is actually sense gratification. So therefore, one must learn detachment by discussion of spiritual science based on authoritative scriptures, and must hear from a person who are actually in knowledge. As a result of such discussion in the association of devotees, then one comes to Krishna. Then the first thing must be to surrender. Description of that place By having gone, no one returns. Yet Gatva Nivartante. Right? So this false reflection is given here. The Supreme Personality of Krishna is the original root from whom everything emanates. And to gain the favor of that Supreme Person, one has to surrender. Okay? And this is performed, this is possible by devotional service. So you can see here the root of the tree. Here that's the desire. So that means even Brahma is here. See, even Brahma. So even if you become Brahma, there is death. In the sense, it is still in the material world, in Brahma's world also, right? So you need to cross this desire, that Viraj Riva, and that desire, and go to spiritual. So 15.5 states about the process of surrendering. Nirmana moha jida sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama tadvai vimukta sugadukta samcher gachan damoda patamavyayam tat. Those are free from false prestige, illusion, false association, who understand the eternal, who are done with material lust, who are free from the dualities of happiness and distress, and who, unbewildered, know how to surrender to the Supreme Person, attain to that eternal kingdom. Right. So how can somebody go to the eternal world? By surrender, right? Surrendering is the process. So what are the 6 aspects of surrender? When do you say surrender is not a simple word? There are so many aspects for it. Yes, Sunita Mataji?
Anukulesya sankalpam, pratikulesya varjanam, rakshishati iti vishwasam, gotritve varanam, atma nikshepam, karpanyam. Karpanyam, atma nikshepam.
Yes. So first is Anukulena Sankalpam. That means Anukulena Sankalpam.
Only favorable. What is favorable to Lord Krishna? Doing what is favorable to Lord Krishna.
Accept everything favorable to Sir.
Yes, Neeraja Mother. Accept everything that is favorable to Krishna consciousness. That is when we surrender. How do you say a soul is surrendered? Like Srila Prabhupada, the surrendered soul. How do you say? Because he accepted what is favoring Krishna consciousness, went to US, which is favoring his Krishna consciousness to spread, right? All that. Then Anukulesya Varjana means?
Pratikulasya Varjana means that what is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness, you have to leave it.
Yeah.
Giving up everything unfavorable.
Yes, rejecting all the unfavorable things for Krishna, to progress in Krishna consciousness. Rakshishat iti vishwasa. This is a very important quality of somebody who surrendered.
That Krishna will protect him.
Confidence that one will protect.
Yeah, have the strong faith that whatever happens, Krishna is going to protect him. Okay, Rakshishat iti vishwasa. Having that strong faith. Avashya rakshibe Krishna. Like when the Gopas went into the mouth of Agasur, the snake. You've seen them, they're so happily going inside. Right? Because they have strong faith. Whatever happens, you've seen any demon coming to Vrindavan, Krishna sees that nothing happens to his friends. Because they have so much faith also and confidence also that Krishna will definitely protect them. So Rakshishat, even Prahlad Maharaj, he knew that Narasimhadev is going to protect him anyhow, right? Somehow. So that strong faith is not there in us. It is shakable. Our faith is shakable. But pure devotee have strong faith in the Lord that whatever happens, no matter what, Krishna is going to save him. So Anukulesya Sankalpam, Pratikulesya Varjanam, Rakshishat Indesha. So Gopitrete Varanatana, thinking that Krishna is a master, and Atma Niksheva, Karpanya, be submissive and be humble, not proud of that. So that's called a complete surrender. Okay. So here it is said, okay, so we have to find one in knowledge, that is spiritual master, and hear from him submissively. Tadviti pranipatena pariprashnena sevya. So hear from the spiritual master submissively about the relationship between Lord and the living. I mean, to surrender through the spiritual master and give up the false prestige that we are the Lord of material nature, being free from illusion, giving up false association, being free from dualities. Then one attain the eternal abode. Having gone there, no more return back. Right? So here it is said, Srila Prabhupada mentions, in the spiritual world there is no electricity and no sun, right? That supreme abode of mind is not illumined by the sun or the moon, not by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to the material world. Why there is no sun, no electricity and all in the spiritual world?
from Krishna's body only.
Krishna's
Krishna
body
effulgence.
That is
Very
Instead of
like
effulgence.
Mataji, what is that effulgence called?
Effulgence.
What is that effulgence called? Kanjan Mataji, she raised her hand.
Brahman.
Mataji, it has its own, the planet has its own light. It's by effulgence.
That
The
is called
planet,
as what? Effulgence. Shraddha Mataji, what's it called?
Brahman.
Brahman,
The Brahman, right?
Brahma Jyoti.
Yeah. So it's self-effulgent, self-illuminating. It's coming from Krishna's body, that effulgence. That's called the Brahmachari. So it's already self-effulgent. But then the pastime, especially Rasa Leela, happens at night in the spiritual world. If it is self-effulgent, it's always day in the spiritual world. Then how there is night pastimes happening? Yes? You understood my question?
yes, Mataji, but don't know the answer.
Mataji, is it happening in the material world?
No. Krishna's pastimes, Rasa Leela and all, it's eternally happening. It happened in the material world when Krishna came in Dwapar Yuga, yes. But in spiritual world, it's eternally happening every day, every time, right? It's continuously, nityali like this going on. But how is it possible then? Yes, Rajat Prabhu.
Mataji, there is no night there. So everything is, and like we require eyes to see and everything there, these senses are not there.
Sabrinaji Mataji. Okay.
Mataji, is it the Uttarayan and Dakshinayan according to the months?
In spiritual world, nothing like that. See, there is no sun there, then where there is Uttarayan and all coming. No, it's actually, actually it is said that, okay, so Krishna is self-effulgent. But if he wants, he can create the night also. He can create the darkness also. So he can do whatever he wants in the spiritual world. If he wants, he can create the darkness to show it as night. So there is no sun and moon. Everything is because it's coming from the Lord's body. Yeah, it is by the supreme will. So the Lord can make it happen. It's by his sweet will, Krishna says. Krishna descends and do his pastime according to his sweet will. Nobody has to compel him or force him. So Prabhupada says, why should we pay the electricity bill? Right? What is this foolishness? Why should you pay the electricity bill? Go there and live there. No, there is no need of natat pashede surya, nothing. It is, the spiritual world is not like by sun and moon because everyone is effulgent. Every planet is effulgent. So there is no need of sun and moon electricity. There is no ignorance. There is no scarcity. There is no miserable condition in the spiritual world. So Prabhupada is like, to be really happy, we should go to the spiritual world because there is no nothing, no distress. So that's why it's called Vaikunta, Vikata Kunta. There is no Kunta in the sense, there is no distress in the spiritual world. So these are the qualities of spiritual world explained here in Krishna Loka, Loka Vrindavan. One should be captivated by this information. So why is Krishna showing us this spiritual world through his Bhagavad Gita? Why? Because we should have the desire to go there. Oh, I have come from that spiritual world. Now I am here paying the electricity bill. I came from a place where there is no need of electricity, right? So we need to realize it and have a desire to go back. Krishna have done this his pastimes to attract the souls. He should have a desire to transfer himself to this eternal world and extricate himself from this false reflection of reality. For one who's too much attached to this material world, it's very difficult to cut that attachment. So sometimes we go on a train, then we reserve our berth. We have our things, everything kept, and we are so happy that we are here, especially if it's an AC free tire or something. You'll be like so comfortable, right? Oh, this is my seat or this is my berth. I'm not to the top or middle or lower, whatever berth. We're so comfortable. But we become attached to that place for some time, and then when the destination comes, you have to leave whatever facility is there. Similarly, and when you go in a train journey, there are so many people coming next to you, unless it's a family, and after that there will be so many others. Similarly, we are all on a journey to go back to Godhead, and in this train, if we get attached to our birth, because when destination comes, we have to go. Vritti sarva harasyaha. Prabhupada says either we become kicked out from this material world, or the material possessions will be gone from us. Something will happen, and you can't be attached So if you say that, oh, I won't get down in my station, I need to go because this is my place, at least the TT will come and kick you out, or they fine you, or it's not legal to travel without a ticket there, right? So we can't be in this material world for long. We have to go. So it is said, given here that we should gradually become detached, not like suddenly I'm like, oh, I'm a Vairagi, I'm running to Himalayas. No, we have to take the Krishna consciousness and gradually become detached. Again, one has to associate himself with devotees, those who are in Krishna consciousness. And we should search out a society dedicated to Krishna consciousness and learn how to discharge devotional service. In this way, we can cut off our attachment to the material world. One cannot become detached from the attraction of the material world simply by dressing himself in a saffron cloth. Prabhupada's like, just by becoming a sannyasi or brahmachari, that's not the real detachment. Okay. Did I have? Okay. So this will take it as a quick breakout room. Explain the process of freeing oneself from the weakness of heart with reference to 15:1-5 verses and Prabhupada. Discuss the relevance of this process in your practice of Krishna consciousness. Explain the process of freeing from the weakness of heart. Relevance in your practice of Krishna consciousness. Okay. So it's enough if one devotee speaks from one room. Okay. And after that, we'll have attendance link posted. Should have 5 rooms.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I didn't get the notification, Mataji. Join.
Okay, 1 second. I'll just see. I've done for everyone. Okay, so we'll take the breakout room discussion towards the end. The co-host, please post the attendance link. We'll do 10 till 10 slokas. Next Thursday, this Thursday we'll do 11 to 20. Okay, so 10 slokas we can finish in this week. So 7 to 11 is about transmigration of the living entities. We'll be discussing that now. Okay, 7th sloka is very important. Sloka it says, Mamevamsho jivaloge jiva bhuta sanadanaha manashastrani prakristani karshati. Where is it? So 7th sloka. So it says that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Okay. Mameva amsha jivaloge jiva bhuta sanadana. Krishna says the living entity in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts, and due to the conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which includes the mind. So we struggle because of our 6 senses, which including the mind, right? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, touch, and also the mind. So very difficult to control. So we are part and parcel of Krishna. So any analogies you can think about to show that we are part and parcel of Krishna? Any analogies? What you can think about? Yes.
Hare Krishna. Gold in the gold particles in the gold mine.
Good. Gold particle and gold mine. So gold mine is also qualitatively a gold, and particle is also, but then in quantity we are small. Okay.
Drops of
Seawater, salt water.
Salt water, the seed drop and salt water. Yes. Question. Yes, Shraddha Mataji, anything else?
No, same Mataji. Ocean and the droplet.
Okay. Lavanya Mataji, any other analogy?
Fire and the fire spark.
Very good. Fire and the spark. Very nice. So fire is also like it'll burn your hand, and also spark also can burn. So qualitatively both are same, but then in quantity, spark is just a small drop, and the spark very small, and the fire is so big. So gold mine, fire spark, sea water, and the drop. Okay, so that means we are also qualitatively one with the Lord, but quantitatively different. That is Achita Veda Tattva. So we are part and parcel of Krishna. So my hand is part and parcel of my body. So what is the purpose of the hand? To serve the body. Similarly, we are part and parcel of Krishna. What is the purpose of our life? To serve Krishna. And the moment our hand is amputated, there's no life for it. No, the hand cannot work independently. So once my hand is detached from my body, it's of no use. Similarly, the moment we get detached from Krishna, then we are of no value. So Krishna is like 1 before the zeros. We are like 0 and Krishna is the 1. So many zeros you put, and if there is no 1 before that, it's of no value. Okay? So expansion of the Lord Krishna is there is personal or primary expansion, Vishnu Tattvas, and separate or secondary expansions are the living entities. So we have this minute independence, right? It is granted to every living entity, but we misuse that independence and become conditioned soul. And by proper use, we become liberated. And we are struggling with this mind and senses. The conditioned soul is bound up as though shackled by iron chains. He is bound up by his false ego, and the mind is a chief agent which is driving him for the material existence. So Mameva amsha jiva loge jiva buddha sanadana. Krishna says we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are amsha of the Lord. And 8 to 11 sloka says about the soul is getting transmigrated from one living entity into another. So in the last chapter, we saw what is the main reason why this transmigration is happening?
Desire.
Other than
Desires,
and desires and all. Kanjan Mataji.
Yes.
Kanjan Mataji.
Mataji, first of all, desire, and secondly, whenever we quit the body, whatever we think during that time. So that is the reason.
Yes, Lavanya Mataji. Okay.
The 3 modes, Mataji.
Very good. 3 modes, right? The Karanam Guna Sangha Asya. That's because we are associating with that particular mode. So we get different bodies based on that. Okay, karma, desires, all that is there. But real reason is Karanam Guna Sangha Asya. Because we are attached to that particular mode, material nature gives us that particular body. Okay, that's the main reason for transmigration. Shariram yata vapnodi yachapi ukramadishvaraha Grihitvaitani samyati vayur gandhani vashet. The living energy in the material world carries its different conception of life from one body to another as the air carry aroma. Thus, it takes one kind of body and again quits it to another. So this is a nice question. So here, air carrying the aroma, like the air can come through the kitchen, which is making very nice dishes. It can carry that smell. It can carry through a jasmine garden and carry that smell. If it's coming through the bathroom area, it has a bad smell. So does that mean the air has smell? No, it takes up one smell, leaves it, takes up another smell and leaves it. So similarly, this body is also like that. Okay, the soul is like that. The soul takes up one body, leaves it, takes another body. It's not attached to anything. It's actually alone. It should not be attached to that body. So here it is said that Vayur Gandha Nivashya. This is the analogy that's given. The living entity in the material world carries different conception of life from one body to another as the air carries aroma. I think this is a Bhakti Shastri question. Air carrying aromas. Yes, I'll give the open book assessment. 12-13, right? 12-13. 12 and 13 also I didn't give.
13, 14, Mataji.
13 and 14.
13 and 14 I have to give. Yes. 13 and 14. Because till 12 is module 2. Okay, now we started module 3. Okay. So, the example given is Vayur Gandha Nivashi. That's air carrying aroma. This is an important Bhakti Shastra question and analogy. Right? How is that air carrying aroma? Like that, the soul can take one body and quits and give up another body. Okay. Shrotram chakshus parshanam charasanam granam cha adhishtayam anaschayam vishayan upasevate. The living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eyes, nose, tongue, and sense of touch, which is grouped about the mind. Thus, he enjoys a particular set of sense objects. So here it said, based on our desire and the mode which we associate, we get different types of body. The living entities thus take another gross body, obtain a certain type of ears, eyes, tongue, all that. He enjoys a particular set of sense objects. So here, the honeybee, which senses is dominant here? Everybody can unmute.
Tongue.
Passion.
Tongue.
Taste.
Taste. Okay, taste. Taste. Smell, no? Flower. It is attached to the fragrance of the flower. Okay, so smell, nose. Then what about a deer?
Sound.
Hearing the sound of the hunter, right? Making some nice sound and then gets attracted to that.
Yes.
What about moth, fire moth?
Light.
Light.
To the brightness. Okay, eyes. Fish.
Smell.
Taste.
Taste. Okay, just taste that and get while fishing, it get caught. What about an elephant?
Touch.
Yeah. So a she-elephant is called and he is getting attracted and will fall into the ditch because of that. So all this is the sense objects getting dragged. So what is the danger? When the honeybee sits into that flower, smelling the fragments and then drinking the honey, it closes. The lotus can close, right? So lotus and honey, lotus and sun has a relation. When the sun sets, the lotus closes and the honeybee become trapped there. And also the deer gets so attracted to the sound of the hunter and just goes inside the forest where it gets trapped in the horns. And the fire moth just go and burns itself in the fire. And fish just get attracted to that taste of that the fisherman and then gets caught. And also the elephant gets caught. It's all because of the different senses which has material. So shrotam chakshusa, all this sparshanam, rasanam, granam, these are the different types of. The shrotam means ear, sparshanam. So ear is the deer, sparshanam, sense of touch, is elephant, rasanam, tongue is the fish, granam, the nose is the honeybee, and chakshus, eyes is the fire moth. So these are the different examples how they get attracted and with their senses, this what Utkramantam stidam vapi punjana vagunanvitam vimodana pashyanti pashyadvi jnana chakshushaha. The foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in knowledge can see all this. That is called jnana chakshus. Okay, jnana chakshus is very important. That means seeing through the eyes of Shastra or jnana. So only a person in knowledge can see this. So it is said, somebody who's in self-realization can see clearly what is really happening. So in the 15.10 Prabhupada says, every living entity is quitting his body under certain circumstances. And it's living under certain circumstances and enjoying under certain circumstances under the spell of material nature. As a result, he's suffering different kind of happiness and distress under the illusion of sense enjoyment. And person in such a knowledge can understand how a conditioned living entity is suffering in this material existence. Therefore, those who are highly developed in Krishna consciousness try their best to give this knowledge to people in general, for their condition of life is very much, otherwise it's troublesome. They should come out of it and be in Krishna conscious and liberate themselves to transfer to the spiritual world. So we'll stop with 15:10. Okay. We'll continue with 11th sloka this Thursday. So that we can join at 7:30. We can take it at 7:30. I might have some service till 7, so I'll be late. So 7:30, and then we'll continue from sloka 11 to 20 and finish chapter 15. I'll be giving the open book question today. I forgot. Okay, we'll take the breakout room questions. So we have 5 groups today. So who is going to say from room number 5? Let's start with 5.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Surya.
To be free from attachment, we have to develop detachment, and which is possible only through attachment to Krishna. And we have a tendency to lord it over the material nature, which is like an inverted banyan tree, and the roots of which are complicated. And it is very difficult to understand also. And the way to be free from this attachment is to cut it from the roots. It is only possible through the acts of detachment. That is param drishtva nivartate. When we give the higher taste, gradually the lower taste will be diminished. And by engaging, practical application means by engaging all the senses in Krishna's service. Jivan mukhehi jihvado. Like eating Krishna Prasad, chanting, and using our intelligence to read scriptures. And we can use all our ability for spreading Krishna consciousness. And this material nature is nothing but the inverted banyan tree. It is compared to the Krishna's love becomes lust when it comes to the material platform. And when we hear and understand about the spiritual world, we can develop a desire to go to the eternal abode, which makes us have a good association and taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master who guides us, and we, through him we can perform devotional services and finally reach supreme abode by complete surrendering. Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so room number 4. Who representing room number 4? Deval Mataji?
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. So we also had a discussion, and as we said, how do we, detach ourselves? Because in the process of Krishna consciousness, just one, Hare Krishna. Just one minute. Sorry, Hare Krishna. Yeah, so we had discussed that what do we do practice, in our daily life in Krishna consciousness, how we are bringing that process in our practice. So by hearing, the first stage is like by hearing from authoritative sources, listening to Bhagavatam, listening to Bhagavad Gita classes, attending Bhagavad Gita classes, then chanting the holy names throughout, and then doing devotional services like making prasadam, offering bhoga, doing services to Krishna, many people give examples of making their vastra and offering flowers, offering tulsi leaves, doing tulsi puja, doing mangala arati. So these are the basic, devotional service which we are doing in practice, and that's how we can get detached from the material taste. As Mataji said, that we need to develop higher taste to get rid of the lower taste. So lower taste is that material desires which we have, and as Prabhupada has written, that pride, because people have that false pride, false ego, that's why they are so attached to the material enjoyment. So how do we get rid of that? Is by attaching ourselves to Krishna, by doing devotional services, by hearing to Bhagavad Gita from the authoritative sources, by attending lectures, by attending classes, and having devotee association, and doing services. This is how we can detach ourselves. And also one of the Matajis gave the example that after coming to Krishna consciousness, her stress levels has reduced drastically, that she used to be always stressed. But now because she's into all these Krishna conscious activities, her stress levels have been reduced. So even we, when we are doing our daily practices, we can see the change in ourselves, like giving up of tea, coffee, giving up of onion, garlic and all that. And that's how we also are like cleansing ourselves, maybe gradually. We have not perfected yet, or we are not surrendered completely, but this is the process, like everyone has started and seeing the change in them. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Room number 3.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, Sonia Mataji would be explaining. I would be presenting a diagram.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Sonia Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, we are talking about the breaking of the heart. Yes, the weakness of the heart. As in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, it is like Arjuna comes with the weakness of the heart, and he prays to Lord Krishna, calling him even Madhusudana. Why? As Madhu is a demon, and as Krishna had destroyed the demon, killed him, so he wanted that kind of confusion, whatever the demons of doubts were created in the head of Arjuna, to be destroyed, to be killed. So he says, likewise, we also have many kind of weakness in our heart as we before coming to Krishna consciousness. But slowly, as we get attached, like as you have said, that we get that attachment only from Mahat Seva and Satatam Kirpa. That is by giving seva to the Vaishnavas and getting their mercies. So that way we can overcome all this weakness. And for that, I will explain you with the diagrams. If I can see that, Mataji, I cannot see you. See your drawing. The diagrams.
Mataji.
Yes. Okay. Wow, so beautiful. Yes, perfect. Okay, so here we have two sides, Mataji, that is attachment and detachment. So before we get attachment, it is always we have to get detached. So we need a better attachment, so that we can get detached from this material lording, which we always feel that we have. We are the proprietors, we are the real controllers, we are the enjoyers. So if we that's like the peace formula. So if we understand that only Lord Krishna is the enjoyer, he is the controller, then we'll shift to this this detachment. That detachment is from fame, false prestige, false ownership, false assertions, and we can give up the 4 regulative principles. Okay, yeah, let me see the phases. Okay, so here we have, I cannot see it, Mataji. Yeah, I have some difficulties viewing her page.
Mataji, can you see now?
So,
I'm just...
No, I see Radharani's picture there.
Radharani.
Okay, now I can see. Yes, I can see. Okay. So before surrendering, so after surrendering, Mataji, after surrendering completely, we can go into book reading by having book reading, always listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, reading Gita. Yes, it's a problem. Okay, then chanting, always getting the associations of the devotees, online or offline, and always remembering Krishna and never forgetting Krishna. And for that, we need to focus on ourselves and what betterment we are going to do each day, Mataji. So, and to give up, what we have to give up is gambling, the lust of money, and then meat eating, alcohol, all these kinds of things which have always taken our heart. Yes, and slowly we overcome that and we come to Krishna consciousness, and this is a way to strengthen our heart. Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. I'm so sorry I cannot see well. I know your drawing is very beautiful. Yes,
okay.
anything else, Mataji? You can add. You can add, Mataji, because I
Yes,
cannot
Mataji,
see.
these some points only. The chanting, so
Yes.
chanting, then book reading, complete
Book
surrender,
reading,
devotee
complete.
association, and the four regulative principles, and
Yes.
then free from pride. So these
Yes.
are some key points that help
Key
us to get rid of miserly weakness and improve and advance in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Room number 1. Room number 2. Room number 2, nobody.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Dinesh.
This question has got 3 key issues or key points. First is weakness of heart. The second is process of freeing oneself from this weakness of heart. And third, relevance of this process in our own life for Krishna consciousness. So first we have to understand what are the weakness of our heart. The weakness of our heart are duality, feeling of false prestige, false association, illusion, lust, our tendency to lord over the material nature, and also seek sense gratification. So these are our weakness of heart, some of them. There are many, of course. So how do we, what is the process for removing this weakness, these weakness of heart? The first is through knowledge. And the stage is, first is attaining knowledge, then detachment and renunciation, and then finally attachment. So these are 3 stages of this process of freeing one's heart from weaknesses. So what is the real knowledge? The real knowledge is that the material world in which we are living is just a replica or something which is higher or which is something supreme. So we have to realize this world, material world, is illusory, it is false, it is perishable, and it is not the real place from which we where from we came to this place. And what is the cause of our coming? The desires and the 3 modes of material nature which have forced us to come to this realization of material world. So the material, this knowledge, we are sustaining this material world because of our nourishment through 3 modes of material nature. So this we have to understand that the real knowledge is that this is not real place for us. We belong to some other place, and we have to go back to it. So we have to cut down our first knowledge is that we have to cut down this 3 modes of control over 3 modes of material nature by following regulative principle and perfecting our devotional service. Devotional service has already been explained by so many other devotees before. I'll not go into the processes. The second, after attaining this knowledge, then we have to detach from this material world and do the renunciation. And this cannot happen. This cannot happen on its own. We have to remove these weaknesses by the process of devotional service. And then the acts of this knowledge can lead to detachment from material world or cut down the roots of the banyan tree, and then renunciation. So this is how we proceed with the detachment and renunciation part. And of course, the role of a spiritual master, hearing from authoritative sources, reading Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavatam, serving the Vaishnavas, mercy of Vaishnavas, they are all just prelude to attaining this kind of renunciation. Then when we renounce with knowledge and with the background of renunciation, we develop attachment towards Krishna. And Krishna, that we know that he is Supreme Lord, he is the Supreme Enjoyer. We are nothing. We are just a spark of him, qualitatively same, but quantitatively very small. So we have to remove all kind of anarthas by renunciation and then get attached to Krishna. Attachment to Krishna is perfect Krishna consciousness concept. That means we do devotional processes and dissociate from other. Then we develop the process of from sadhu sangha shraddha to ultimately prem bhav or prem bhakti. So this is how we can attain, remove the weaknesses of our heart and attain the supreme goal of Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna. Okay, let's go to room number 1. Yes, Sukriti Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Weakness of heart is the most common thing in every living entity we encounter. So the best way to overcome this weakness of heart is to develop strong faith in Krishna consciousness. Of course, this process is not so easy, but by regular practice and developing strong faith towards Krishna consciousness, definitely we can overcome this day by day. And we can also see, like, once a strong faith develops, we also surrender unto Krishna, thinking that he always, avashya rakshibhe Krishna, he will definitely help us in our to overcome this weakness of heart. And definitely when we get attached to him and not attached to the result of the fruitive activities, definitely that is a stepping stone to overcome this weakness of heart. And few of the methods which are already described and discussed in the other groups may include chanting, reading books, listening to Prabhupada lectures, give us a boost our confidence and make our faith stronger and stronger. And also the association with the devotees and performing seva and getting the mercy of the devotees. And this miserly weakness was also experienced by Arjuna, which is well explained in Bhagavad Gita 2.7. And such miserly weakness of Arjuna was overcome only when he requested Krishna to consider him as a disciple and also a soul, surrender unto him, and to help him to come out of this miserly weakness. Hare Krishna. These were the points we will discuss.
Hare Krishna. I think everybody has told everything well. Yes, Keshav Prabhu.
Mataji, this is a general question. That question, what it was asked with reference to slok number 1 to 5. So, shall we be specific to that verses what you have given? This is including that OB also. I asking for OB also, and this one also, group discussion as well. That the specific verses which is mentioned in the question, are we be sticked into that, or we can add some other references? That what, because that answer what you asked.
Supposed to stick to that question, like it is said verse 1 to 5. So we just take only from there. If it is, this is like, breakout room, but in the open book question, if this is come as an open book, then you can take reference from outside also, from other slokas also, verses, other shastras also. But here it's specifically mentioned, chapter 15, verse 1 to 5, right? Verses and purpose.
Yes, Mataji. That's what, because other books they answered, they are not in this 5 verses. So, yes.
No, that's okay. Sometimes discussion can go outside. But unless and until it is, we stick to this statement of weakness of heart, then no problem, freeing oneself. That's okay, but yeah. Rachita Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I just wanted to ask you, did you get my video, the videos of the shloka for module 2?
Yes.
Did you get it?
Yes. Okay, so next time onwards, we'll give you the notification. Once you send the video and all, you will get it in your email. So it's easy for you. Okay, so I'll post the open book question for chapter 13 and 14 by tomorrow. Okay, I need to close now. Okay, so this Thursday we'll complete chapter 15. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone.